Scorpios love hard. They don't do half-hearted. When they give it all. Their trust, their energy, their soul. And in a perfect world, that would be honored. But in this one, that kind of love gets tested, manipulated, even weaponized. This video isn't to make you colder. It's to make you wiser. Because when you're a Scorpio, people will either respect your loyalty or exploit it. Let's stop letting them win. Here are 31 things every Scorpio needs to remember if they want to stay unbreakable in a world full of emotional players. 1. Not everyone who opens up deserves access to your soul. You're drawn to rawness, vulnerability, people who reveal their brokenness. But don't confuse confession with connection. Some people use their trauma as bait. They unload their emotional wounds on you fast. Not because they want healing, but because they know you can't resist someone who seems to need saving. Not every open wound is your responsibility. Magnifying glass tilted left red flag to watch for. If they overshare on day 1 and pull you into their chaos before even knowing your last name, that's not intimacy. That's manipulation masked as trust. 2. Loyalty is powerful, but deadly when given too early. Your loyalty is legendary. But here's the hard truth. Loyalty without qualification becomes self-sabotage. You can't give lifetime commitment to people who've only shown seasonal interest. You can't keep proving your worth to someone who hasn't even earned a seat at your table. Loyalty is sacred. Don't waste it on the unproven. Magnifying glass tilted left personal reminder. Let people earn you. Your love isn't clearance rack energy. It's exclusive, high-frequency access, and not everyone deserves the key. 3. Your silence is a shield, but they'll try to turn it against you. You don't yell. You observe. You don't explain yourself to people who aren't ready to understand you. But manipulators hate that. They'll poke. They'll accuse. They'll say you're cold, detached, passive-aggressive, when really, you're protecting your peace. Silence is your sanctuary. Don't let them shame you out of it. Magnifying glass tilted left power move. Clarify once. Set your line. After that, let the silence do its job. Don't waste energy over-explaining to people who distort truth to fit their comfort. 4. People love the mystery until it requires them to be honest. They'll chase your aura. They'll say they've never met anyone like you. They'll say they love your depth, your fire, your intensity. Until you ask something real. Until you see through them. Until you ask for honesty, healing, commitment, transformation. Then they ghost, or lash out, or call you too much. You weren't too much. They were just too shallow. Magnifying glass tilted left, watch their reaction. Ask something meaningful early in the connection. If they flinch, deflect, or get sarcastic, you're already seeing their ceiling. Move accordingly. 5. Don't mistake passion for partnership. You've got a high threshold for emotional heat. You can burn without blinking. But not every flame is meant for forever. That wild chemistry? It's exciting, addictive, but it's not always safe. Some people light fires just to watch you burn. If it feels like chaos, it's not passion, it's a warning. Magnifying glass tilted left Scorpio self-check. When you're with them, do you feel anchored or anxious? Do you feel expanded or exhausted? Your nervous system knows what your heart won't admit. 6. You are a healer, but you're not a rehab. You were born with the gift to transform darkness. You've been to hell and came back with the blueprint. So when someone shows you their shadows, you lean in. But not every wounded bird wants to fly. Some just want a nest to hide in. They want you to fix what they refuse to face themselves. You can't save someone who's addicted to being broken. Magnifying glass tilted left, ask this before giving your all. Are they showing up for their healing, or just dumping it on you? Are they doing the work, or just enjoying being rescued? 7. Your intuition is a superpower. Use it early. Scorpios don't miss red flags. They ignore them. Because you want to believe the best. You want to prove your gut wrong. But you already knew. That weird feeling after the second date. That offbeat comment they made. That subtle lie they told, but smiled while doing it. Your gut doesn't need evidence. It is the evidence. Magnifying glass tilted left pro tip. If you feel a red flag in the first 2 weeks, pause everything. Trust the signal. Save your soul. Stop sign 8. If you don't set boundaries early, you'll end up resenting yourself later. Scorpio, your silence can protect you, but only up to a point. Boundaries aren't selfish, they're sacred. And they don't ruin connections. They reveal the real ones. The people who guilt you for saying no, they were never here for you. They were here for access. If your boundary offends them, they were never safe to begin with. Magnifying glass tilted left action step. Practice saying this. That doesn't work for me. No explaining. No softening. No guilt. Your peace is worth the awkward pause. Performing arts 9. Not everyone who mirrors you is your soulmate. Some people study you, reflect you, and mimic your energy, not because they love you, but because they want to disarm you. They use mirroring as a seduction tactic. Same music taste, same life values, same dreams, same trauma stories. And just like that, you let your guard down. But it was an act, a mirror, not a match. True soulmates challenge you, not clone you. Magnifying glass tilted left Scorpio radar tip. If someone is too similar, too quickly, it's not fate. It's a script. Slow it down. Ask deeper questions. Look for authenticity, not performance. Bomb 10. People will test your silence just to see what breaks you. You're naturally mysterious. People don't always know what you're thinking, and that drives manipulators insane. So what do? They provoke you. They withdraw affection. They push your limits just to get a reaction. Because if you crack, they win. They get proof that they can control your state. Your silence is sacred. Don't let them bait it out of you. Magnifying glass tilted left real-world warning. If they constantly do things that force you to defend, explain, or emotionally chase them, it's not love. It's psychological warfare. Walk away. I-11. The more they demand access, the less they deserve it. There's a difference between closeness and control. Someone who truly wants to connect will respect your pace. Someone who pushes too hard, asks too many questions, tries to force vulnerability early, isn't trying to love you. They're trying to own you. If they push past your no once, they'll do it again. Louder. Magnifying glass tilted left boundary reminder. You don't owe people immediate access to your inner world. You are not rude. You are sovereign. Hold your pace. Trust the slow burn. Vampire 12. Energy vampires often come disguised as twin flames. They tell you it's fate. They say the connection is cosmic. They say we're so intense because our souls are tied. But behind the fireworks is emotional instability, jealousy, chaos, and codependency. And yet, it feels impossible to leave. That's not a soul connection. That's a trauma tether. If they drain your peace, it's not divine. Magnifying glass tilted left healing insight. True spiritual connection calms your nervous system. If you feel constantly anxious, emotionally confused, or unworthy, it's not alignment. It's addiction to the roller coaster. Cut the cord. Brain 13. Over-explaining yourself is emotional self-abandonment. Scorpios often feel misunderstood, and so they start explaining, and explaining, and explaining. But here's the truth. You don't owe explanations to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. The more you try to make them get it, the more power you give away. Explaining your truth over and over is a trauma response, not love. Magnifying glass tilted left power practice. Try this. Instead of defending your feelings, say, "This is what I need." It's okay if it doesn't make sense to you. Then pause. Let your silence affirm your truth. DNA 14. The perfect partner who moves too fast is a walking red flag. If they talk about forever in the first week, drop "I love you" by day 5 and start future planning before you even know their middle name. Pause. Love doesn't rush like that. This isn't fate. It's a tactic. Love bombing feels like being seen until the mask slips. Magnifying glass tilted left pattern to watch. Fast affection, intense connection, sudden devaluation, emotional confusion, you begging for crumbs. That's the love bomb cycle. Don't fall for it. Broken heart 15. Stop romanticizing red flags just because you're lonely. You're deep, loyal, passionate, and yes, sometimes lonely. But your loneliness is not a reason to pick poison and call it wine. You've done too much work to fall back into old patterns just because you miss being held. Don't sleep next to someone who makes your spirit feel cold. Magnifying glass tilted left, ask yourself, do I love them, or am I afraid of being alone? Would I choose this if I were fully healed? What would my higher self say? You already know. Trust your own no. Anger symbol 16. Your emotional depth deserves emotional safety. You're not too much. You just feel everything, and you need someone who respects that. People who mock your intensity don't deserve your silence. People who disappear when you get vulnerable don't deserve your loyalty. Your depth isn't drama. It's devotion. Magnifying glass tilted left relationship test. Share something raw. Watch how they respond. Do they hold it gently, or weaponize it later. That's the difference between safety and sabotage. Firecracker 17. Love bombing isn't love, it's a setup. In the beginning, it feels magical. They flood you with affection, praise, compliments. You are the one. The connection is unlike anything they've ever felt. It's a dream. But soon, the tide turns. You say no, they flinch. You disagree, they withdraw. You don't respond fast, they punish. Suddenly, their love becomes a weapon. When someone rushes the bond, it's not passion, it's positioning. Magnifying glass tilted left Scorpio tip. Love doesn't explode, it builds. If it feels like fireworks too fast, it's not real, it's psychological positioning. Warning 18. If they guilt you for having needs, run. You ask for reassurance. You need clarity. You set a boundary. Instead of meeting that with care, they respond with, "Wow, you're so sensitive." You're making a big deal out of nothing. You're ruining the vibe. What they're really saying, your needs inconvenience my control. If your vulnerability makes them uncomfortable, it's not love, it's leverage. Magnifying glass tilted left, check yourself. Are you shrinking to stay low maintenance? Are you apologizing for your truth? Then it's not mutual, it's manipulation. Counterclockwise arrows button 19. Some people trigger your wounds just to stay in control. They poke at what hurts. They mention the ex. They compare you. They hint you're too much. And you start questioning yourself instead of questioning them. This isn't care. It's control through subtle emotional warfare. When someone triggers your wounds for power, it's not a relationship. It's a hostage situation. Magnifying glass tilted left Scorpio defense mechanism. Know your core wounds. If someone weaponizes your past, they don't deserve your future. Exit fast. Cyclone 20. Watch how they react to your power. In the beginning, they admire your intensity. They say you're different, deep, magnetic. But as you grow, shine, speak up, they start shrinking you. They interrupt. They compete. They call you dramatic, overthinking, too deep. They don't want a partner. They want a pedestal, and they want you under it. The right person won't shrink in your light. They'll rise beside it. Magnifying glass tilted left reflection. Ask yourself, does this person celebrate your strength, or do they subtly attack it? Face without mouth 21. If you're always explaining, you're being played. Healthy love doesn't need a courtroom. You shouldn't have to explain why something hurt you, why a boundary matters, why their joke wasn't funny. If every conversation ends with you defending your reality, you're not with a partner. You're with a prosecutor. If you feel guilty every time you speak, you're being gaslit. Magnifying glass tilted left, break the cycle. Say this, my feelings are valid. I don't need to justify them. If that makes them angry, you just got your answer. Puzzle piece 22. Not all intimacy is real. Some is just strategic. They tell you their secrets early. They share their trauma. They cry, break down, show their scars. And you, sweet Scorpio, you dive right in. But here's the twist. That wasn't vulnerability. It was a shortcut to intimacy, designed to make you trust them fast. Real connection takes time. Manipulation is rushed. Magnifying glass tilted left, watch the speed. If someone tells you their whole life story before they know your last name, it's not soulful. It's strategic. Ice Cube 23. When they withhold affection, it's a power move. One day they're all in, texting nonstop, affectionate, calling you baby, love, my person. The next, cold, distant, bare minimum energy. And suddenly, you're panicking. Did I do something wrong? That's not you. That's withholding as punishment, a manipulation tactic designed to keep you chasing. Consistency reveals intention. Anything else is control. Magnifying glass tilted left, quick filter. Love is steady, safe, warm. If you're anxious every time your phone buzzes, it's not love, it's a leash. Balance scale 24. People who gaslight you aren't confused, they're calculated. They deny what happened. They rewrite stories. They make you question your memory, your emotions, your reactions. You start saying things like, maybe I'm overthinking. I probably misunderstood. Maybe it was my fault. Stop right there. If it happened, it happened. Your pain is the proof. Magnifying glass tilted left, self-reclamation. Keep receipts of texts, of conversations, of emotional shifts. Not because you need evidence for them, but to protect your own clarity when they try to erase it. Briefcase 25. Emotional labor is not love. If you're always talking them off cliffs, healing their outbursts, fixing their crises, explaining how to treat you. That's not partnership. That's emotional labor. And Scorpio, your heart is not a full-time job site. Love should feel like home, not a therapy session you didn't sign up for. Magnifying glass tilted left, ask yourself, am I being held here, or am I holding everything up? If you're the emotional backbone of the entire relationship, you're not in a relationship. You're in a contract you didn't sign. Fire 26. Protect your sacred rage. It's a compass, not a curse. Scorpios are passionate. When betrayed, they burn. But society shames your rage, tells you it's ugly, overreactive, dangerous. That's manipulation too. Because your anger? It's not dysfunction. It's a signal, a siren, a spiritual alarm that says, something here is violating your truth. Your rage isn't the problem. It's the proof. Magnifying glass tilted left, empowered practice. Next time you feel that fire rising, don't suppress it. Ask, what boundary was crossed? Where did I abandon myself to keep the peace? Then act from that truth, not the trigger. Shield 27. Your energy is a fortress, not a playground. Not everyone deserves to be in your field. Not everyone should hear your dreams, touch your skin, or sit at your table. Scorpios absorb energy deeply. So when you let in the wrong people, they don't just hurt you, they stay in your system. Access to you is a privilege, not a right. Magnifying glass tilted left, spiritual shielding. Before meetings, dates, conversations, set this intention. I protect my energy. I observe before I absorb. Watch how fast manipulators get uncomfortable when you stop leaking light. Candle 28. Your intuition isn't paranoia. It's protection. Scorpios are gifted with second sight. You feel what's off, even when the facts say it's fine. But too often, you doubt yourself. You override that whisper, and then you suffer. Your soul speaks in quiet truths. Stop silencing them. Magnifying glass tilted left, trust test. Next time you sense something is off, pause. Don't explain it away. Don't gaslight yourself. Just pause. Let the truth unfold. Your job isn't to explain your intuition. It's to honor it. Door 29. You don't owe closure to people who knew what they were doing. They lied. They manipulated. They crossed boundaries again and again. And now, they want a conversation. They want to end things maturely. But what they really want is to rewrite the story and escape accountability. Closure isn't a dialogue. It's a decision. Magnifying glass tilted left, emotional clarity. You can forgive silently. Heal privately. You don't need to sit at a table they burned. Block. Delete. Breathe. Let them close their own door. Broken heart 30. You can love deeply and still choose yourself. Scorpios think loyalty means staying. But real loyalty begins with you. You can love someone with your whole being and still say, I choose peace. I choose distance. I choose me. Choosing yourself doesn't make the love fake. It makes it sacred. Magnifying glass tilted left, Scorpio reflection. What if love was never about holding on? What if your greatest act of loyalty is walking away when your soul whispers, this is no longer home? Snowflake 31. Your detachment isn't cold, it's conscious. They'll say you're heartless, distant, guarded. But Scorpio detachment isn't about coldness, it's about clarity. You've been burned. You've rebuilt. And now, you protect your peace not because you don't care, but because you finally do. Your absence will be the lesson they never forget. Magnifying glass tilted left, reminder. You don't have to respond. You don't have to engage. Your silence is your power. Let them learn through the echo of your exit. Man in lotus position, final message. Scorpio, you are not easy to love. You are worth loving deeply. You were never meant to be understood by everyone. You were meant to be felt by the right ones. Your depth will scare people who only know surface. Your loyalty will be wasted on those who only seek convenience. Your silence will frustrate those who thrive on chaos. But none of that means you should shrink. None of that means you should stop loving. It just means you must love wiser. With eyes open, with standards high, with a heart still soft, but no longer available to those who haven't earned it. The version of you that loves without losing yourself? That's the Scorpio the world needs now. So hold your fire. Guard your peace. Speak less, watch more. And when they come for your soul again, smiling, sweet talking, story spinning, you'll remember this video. And you'll choose you, not out of fear, but from power. Because Scorpio, you're not here to be played. You're here to become unplayable. Clapperboard video outro. spoken warmly, calmly, and intimately. If this message found you, it wasn't by accident. Scorpio energy is rising across the world. The ones who once broke are now building empires of soul, silence, and strength. If this video spoke to your truth, glowing star, subscribe to this channel, The Path to Buddhist Wisdom. Because we don't just talk astrology here. We restore clarity, protect power, and honor every soul's path. Compass, leave a comment below. Tell me which truth hit hardest. And remember, you are not hard to love. You are just hard to fool. And that is your greatest gift.